Mastery. We have a very special live stream event for you today, guys. Give me a moment. I'm trying to situate my my cell phone, and then I'm going to tell Elaine that we are live. I apologize. Give me just a few minutes while I straighten this out. It's funny. When I was setting it up, it worked perfectly. Hi, Lori. Excellent. Welcome. Oh, for goodness sake. Come on now, I did this before and it worked perfectly. I know I can do it again. Okay, well, I'll just leave it like this. Hi, Magdalena. Hi, Linda. Hi, Beth. Hi, Lori. Oh my gosh. All right, let me let's find Elaine. Okay. She said, I'm on there, but I can't see you live. I am live now. Hang on, let me tag you. I'm going to tag Elaine. Can somebody, I'll do it myself, hold on. I'm going to tag Elaine so she sees me. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Janine. Hi, Brenda. Welcome, 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 everybody. All right, let me find my live stream on Facebook so I can tag Elaine, and then she can come on. All right, there I am. So, hashtag Elaine, let's try that. That should, oh no, I just hashtagged my event. If anybody can help me to tag Elaine, that would be wonderful. I'd really appreciate it, because I'm not, let me see if I can just share the event with her in her, all right, so I'm going to send this to Elaine. She'll be able to. Now, our event's going to be a little bit shorter than expected. Elaine is exhausted today, and she's still blessing us with her presence, and so I'm really grateful that she's able to join us today. Let me see if she can see the, let me see. Can you see it? Hi, Wallace. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. I love you so much. So let me just back up a hair and say hi. Welcome to High Vibrational Mastery's very special live stream event. Hello, Danielle. Awesome. And my name is Meagan Michael. I am your intuitive health coach. I am also the founder of High Vibrational Mastery. My guest today is the amazing trance medium and spiritual artist Elaine Thorpe, who will be channeling her incredibly dashing Victorian gentleman spirit guide, Johnathan Hunter. Dee Cruz, hello Dee, hello Callie, and hello Susan McNeish. Elaine, all right, I'm going to bring her on camera right now. All right, give me one moment while I add Elaine. So excited. I'm so glad that we're all here together. I'm really excited. Okay, so any minute.
Hello.
Here she is. Hi, Elaine. How are you?
Yeah, I just
can you hear me?
Shape on here.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Elaine. I know that you're very exhausted. You've been running around and doing so much, and I know you asked me to sort today.
Yeah, I've been just finished a piece of art, and now I've just done the family meal. Now I've just sat down. So I've been on my feet for hours painting today.
Oh my goodness, I understand. You're an amazing, amazing artist. So let's well first, okay, I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't want to condense everything into about 30 minutes. So we've been getting some questions about your artwork because I posted it in our group, High Vibrational Mastery, the group. And so if somebody wants to reach you about getting a personal painting by you, can you give them a little bit more information, please?
Yeah, you just message me through Messenger, and I'll private messenger, and I shall request it on my page, and I'll make a point of getting it done for you. If you just, I can add you to my list. I've got about 4 more to do, but I can add you to my list, and you just let me know if it's on canvas or framed, and I'll give you a price of whatever you can go to. The size will fit that. Okay, so that's all you have to do, really.
So you can actually work with people with different. I'm not that familiar with artwork, but like different textures of like canvas, or if they want it framed, and also within their price range, whatever they're right.
Yeah,
like,
usually within the price range. I mean, if I'm gonna post it abroad, it may cost a little bit more, because of post from the UK to different places has different price ranges. So, you know, it goes by that really.
I understand. Well, we're very excited, and I know I don't own a piece yet. I know Margaret already owns a piece, and like so many people do. And it's on my list of things that I'm going to be getting very, very soon. So if you could put a place for me on your list, because I'm definitely going to be there soon. So, all right, I'm so excited. Let me try to focus here. I know that recently you did an amazing in-person venue in, I believe it was Wales. Am I
That's
correct?
right, yeah, in Cumbran in Wales.
And a lot of us got the chance to see it live on Facebook because you streamed it, which was fabulous. And I'm really excited about that. Was that like your largest venue that you've worked so far?
I think it has. I did one with my son back at the beginning, or about the 17th of April. So that was about the same size, might be a bit smaller, but yeah, I think it's about the largest one I've done so far.
And I know that right now you're not because I can see you traveling the world, but I know that right now you're not traveling the world, and so if people want to see you in person and meet with you and Johnathan and have an intimate gathering in person, it does need to be in the UK. Am I correct?
At the moment it does, because I need a passport, so I can't fly on the back of a pigeon yet.
Yes, we definitely have to work on getting you a passport for sure. Because Florida is waiting for you. Oh my gosh, I will set it up. So I want to go ahead and let everybody know about the intimate gathering that we have on May 18th, and that's at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. London time. And for most of us who we can't get to the UK right now, and we would love to have an amazing gathering with Elaine and Johnathan, where he does readings and mediumship and healing and right, and answers questions. And this is going to be an intimate gathering online, and it's a private event. There's only a maximum of 20 people. We only have a few tickets left. And did you want to talk about that? Oh, and in the comments, Lori Papowski Dank, my awesome admin, has already put the information in the comments. And what you want to do is inbox me if you're interested in a ticket. And Elaine, are you looking forward to this event as well?
Yes, I am, and yeah, very much so. It's nice to see all different people coming from parts of the world to watch what we're doing, you know, and to connect with you as well. That's lovely. Thank you for doing it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. We're so excited. Oh my goodness. And so can you, for those of us, for some people who have not seen some of your, because I've watched everything that you've put on the internet. So for people who haven't seen what it's like to be in an intimate gathering, although I haven't been in person, can you explain what that's going to be like?
Well, usually what that is like is you get a chance to ask my guide questions, and you get a chance to perhaps get the answers to them, and they may bring loved ones through if that's possible to connect that way. I can't guarantee it, but you know, they do try to do that. Obviously, I can't see you, and I don't know if everyone's on camera. I don't know how it works on Zoom, but yeah,
Everyone will be on camera. Yes,
blimey.
actually, that's exactly what will happen. Everyone will be on camera at the same
Yeah.
time. It's an online meeting. That's why I'm calling it the intimate gathering.
Yeah,
And
so I'll be able to, well, my guide will be able to give healing as well. He gives healing, and when he's been doing it in person, it's been a lot more intense this last few months. Um,
I saw that film. It
some
almost fell down. The young man was behind him, holding him up. Am I right?
That's right. He was completely in a deep relaxed state, and he would have gone to the floor had Shane let him go to the floor. Shane had to stand with his leg behind him so that he could support the whole of his weight, you know. And he's a pretty big guy, so it wasn't light to hold, I shouldn't think. So sometimes they need two people standing there so that if they do go down. And some, if they have disabilities and things, they might prefer sitting in a chair, and they might feel better that way, you know. Because I know that he puts you to sleep, but sometimes it can be a bit daunting for the first time. But it's a lovely experience.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I plan on asking him for healing during the intimate gathering. And And also, if you have not yet booked an amazing private reading with Elaine and Johnathan, you can do that. Also, you can inbox Elaine for that as well. I had I'm going to do it again and again and again, as long as Elaine and Johnathan will have me, because it was a groundbreaking and life-changing event for me, really.
Yeah, I think if you
So
obviously you won't be falling on the floor when he's doing it at a distance, but you'll probably feel some effect from it. You know, there was one gentleman that did let all his emotions go. I won't say who it was, but and he let all his emotions go, and it was. I didn't want to make him cry, but we did, didn't we, Johnathan? Eh? Poor fella. He did, but he was letting go. Basically, he was letting go of something that he needed to let go.
it's a
And
very cathartic experience, right? Sometimes tears are very healing.
yeah, so I've had a lady at Essex. I'd just given her a reading, and Spirit was looking through her eyes back at me, and I could see a Chinese man and an Indian man with her. And I don't know, they were talking to me mind to mind through her eyes. So I felt that, and brought me to tears because of the love that they bring with them. It was a very emotional feeling. So I thought, well, I can't hold back. And after that, when I went into the evening event at Essex, that's when that intense healing started. So whether or not, her guide shifted something from me that wasn't meant to be there or was holding me back in some way with the mediumship, maybe that was meant to be shifted so that it could progress. The mediumship could progress or the healing could progress. And then after that, everyone started falling down, going down like dominoes.
Wow,
But they weren't
that's
falling
amazing.
down as in falling over. They were just slowly going down. It was like a slow process. They were gradually falling into the deep sleep state or the deep relaxed state more than anything.
Can you guys imagine what that might feel like? Oh my
No,
goodness.
because I'm missing out on it all. All I can feel is their hands. That's it. And I can hear Johnathan talking to them, and he can feel, or they can feel his energy rather, and it must have some sort of effect. But I don't get to have the experience because they're having it.
Aw,
It's,
shucks.
oh
Maybe
no,
is there anybody
yeah.
else is there anybody else that does this? Maybe, I mean, I don't even know, but I think it's very unique and amazing, and I hope you get to experience it one day too. I
Yeah.
definitely want to do the in-person at some point in the near future, hopefully. But for now, I'm so excited about the intimate gathering. And guys, definitely inbox me if you want a ticket. We only have a few tickets left. And there's going to be, like I said, a maximum of 20 people. And it's just you and me and Elaine and Johnathan for 2 hours, actually, 2 hours. And Elaine, is it true that sometimes you channel people's loved ones in their own voice, in the way that
Yeah,
Johnathan
that
has done?
happens sort of sporadically. It happened at the event where this gentleman's nan spoke to him, and he apparently said it sounded like a voice. Obviously, it's not always going to be exactly because they're using a different voice box with different tones, but they do their best to come through. And sometimes that happens, but it's sporadic. So, yeah, sometimes I hold back on it.
Really?
Yeah, I know I shouldn't, but this time she just came out of the blue, and I thought, oh, didn't know she was coming here.
Wow, that's amazing. And who is the young? Is it your sister, the young girl, the little like the young, very young voice that comes through sometimes?
Yeah, my twin, she had diabetes and she passed away at 9 months. And in those days, they didn't know a lot about it. They wouldn't have probably detected it in a baby because normally it's detected in
Mm-hmm.
older children or adults. I don't know, but must have been born with it. And I
Wow.
fortunately didn't have it. So it's like she took everything from me and took it back with her. And she only lived until she was 9 months old. But when my daughter and son have seen her in the house in the past, they've seen her as an adult.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've seen her as an adult, a full-grown adult. So I assume she comes back as a childlike manner to bring the happiness, to bring the innocence, and to raise the vibrations. You know, that with children, child spirits, they like to make us laugh. They like to bring happiness and childlike innocence, don't they? So I assume because she didn't live on Earth as a child for long, she wants to bring that back with her to make everybody happy.
That's wonderful. That's so wonderful. Do you believe that you have maybe a soul contract with her to do this? To
Yeah,
connect in this world like that?
I do, yeah. I never knew it, but as I say, my daughter used to see her all the time. She said she used to be playing the computers and then she'd come in, lean round the door and smile at her, and then she'd disappear,
Mhm.
you know. So I thought, well, it's not me because I can't run through walls. It tends to hurt.
I understand.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Well, I know that I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
that's all right. Go on. Your hair looks nice, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. It's soaking wet. Thank you very much. Your hair is always awesome. I love your hair.
Oh, thanks. I've pinned half of it back because otherwise you won't be able to see my
Oh,
face.
it does. You know what? I noticed it does look a little bit, it looks good like that. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I put it,
It's
I
always,
put a
we
little bit
always
up
love,
in a kind of a tail bit, so it's not so much of it
love
then.
it. So before you go into and before you bring Jonathan through, because I know we're kind of rushing things a little bit because you asked me to keep it to like 30 minutes instead of an hour because you're tired, and I understand. But I wanted to, um, if you don't mind, remember last time in our first interview, guys, if you haven't seen the first interview, it's on Facebook, but I'm also going to be posting it on my YouTube channel. So you're definitely going to want to see the interview one. That's why we're not going to cover some of the same information. Um, but do you remember when you were talking about, okay, your name is Elaine, and then your sister Karen with that bass, and then you had Dawn Marie, right? Was
Yes,
it Diane Marie?
yes,
Okay,
that's
and then
right.
so when
I
after,
had Diane Marie, yes, as she would have probably been about 2 or 3 years older than me had she been alive now. She died at 5 weeks old. So
well, after we finished the live stream last time, and you and I were talking about the names, and remember, I think I just want to tell you guys it was amazing because my mother's name is Elaine, my birth name is Karen, my brother's name is Peter. Elaine has the same names and and then when she said Diane Marie, and I thought, well, that doesn't resonate with me. And then my dearest friend Diane said, that's me. I'm Diane Marie.
oh
And
wow.
then Diane has a sister named Dawn,
And I have a
and
sister
you have a
named
Dawn as
Dawn.
well,
I
right?
mean, that's incredible. And you had oh, I can't think, was it Edwin, didn't you? And I think one of my great
That,
great grandfathers or something in my family was named Edwin.
Real, that's my dad. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
that's not unreal, isn't it?
I, 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 it's amazing. I mean, I don't believe anything is coincidence, and I just think it's
No,
so amazing. It's like I think I might want to ask Jonathan. Like, did we plan that? Like,
I know it must have done. It's crazy. I mean, I've never had that much
right?
synchronicity before. Maybe one or two things, but that many names that are the same is just incredible.
I wonder if it's like the law of attraction because I know you really love synchronicities and I really love synchronicities, and maybe the two of us attracted like major synchronicities.
I know. Look, people are saying wow on here. It's just the names and
Amazing! Wow,
everything.
there were even more names. I'm not going to spend time going through them all now, but there were even more names like uncles and this and that, and yeah, it was amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
know.
connected. I
My
love
well,
it.
my dad was Derek. I don't know if you've got a Derek in your family, but he was Derek,
I don't have a Derek.
and his middle name was
So many beautiful
Brian.
comments and so much love. We love you guys so much. Send a whole bunch of love. Send a whole bunch of love to Elaine. She needs that
Oh,
energy right
yeah.
now. She's been very busy today, so send lots of love. Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
be us with that
Maybe I
energy,
will.
guys.
Yeah, I'm not too
So
bad
Elaine, would you
actually.
please? I have a lot of questions.
Now I've
Say
sat
that again.
down on me, I'm all right. It's just us women. Our work is never done, is it?
I understand. I understand. All right, would it be okay if we bring Jonathan through? I have a bunch of questions that people have submitted for him.
Yes, okay. Someone just said on here, can you tell me who I trance channeled on the weekend? I haven't a clue, Sherry. Sorry about that, but I didn't. I wouldn't know. It's probably your guide that you're channeling.
You know what? That's a good idea. Let's go. Are there any more questions for Elaine? That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to stop yawning here.
Let's,
How exciting, yeah.
Dee asked something earlier. Dee says, Elaine, do twins come in as fractals of your soul or higher self?
I think maybe twins are. I don't think they're your higher self. They're two different souls that probably have a spirit contract, as I'm not like a contract, but a spirit thing that where you come in together. Because I've seen twins that are totally different personalities to one another, and they seem to go each end of the scale, don't they? One twin may be quiet and reserved, and then the other twin is totally outgoing and different to that person, although they look the same. And then you can get twins that are unidentical, or they can be boy and girl
Right.
twins. They're all different types of twins you can get, and there's triplets and quadruplets and all that sort of, it's just amazing. I think, imagine all them babies all looking the same. You wouldn't know who was who, would you?
Guys, I forgot to mention, please share this out. Normally I would do sharing out in the beginning of a live stream, but I'm not able to do that at this time. So if you can go ahead and share this out so that everybody can experience Elaine and Johnathan, which is like amazing. I mean, look, do you know, I mean, do you feel I mean, like, I know everybody that I know sees you as like the most amazing trance medium of all time. I mean, do you see yourself like, because you seem so humble.
No, I just see other mediums are just as good. I've seen some brilliant mediums in my time, physical and trance. There is one gentleman, I can't think of his name now. He's in England, and he brings through a guy named Whitefeather. And I saw him at a demo he'd done. I thought, oh, I didn't know he did demos, but he was speaking in white feathers, but he wasn't speaking in tongue. He was coming through to us as English, and it was given philosophy and guidance. His guide gives philosophy and guidance from the spirit world, but it was quite interesting to listen to. Other mediums.
Is he an older gentleman?
Yes, I think he's probably in his late 50s, I'd say. I don't want to hazard a guess, but
So
that.
when I was looking at your videos last night, I came across an older gentleman that was standing up and also in trance and channeling, and I thought I hadn't seen him before, and I also thought he had an Indian guide.
Yeah, did he have sort of whitish hair?
Yep,
Oh, that's probably
yep,
him. Yeah,
white hair.
yeah. He
He
brings
was
through
very good.
white feather, and he's very good. It's like this part of his face just changes. All this part here in the middle kind of goes smaller, so you notice a difference. And it was nice to
That's
listen
how it is
to.
when you're channeling Jonathan. We can see
Yeah,
him. Do you see that when you're looking back at their videos of your channeling?
sort of. I guess other people notice different changes. Different people see different things, but it just looks as if my face kind of goes a bit longer, or the face is a bit broader than what it normally is. That's
Now,
all I.
Susan McNeish says, when our soul is living this life, can our soul be in another life too? That's a good question.
Yeah, because I suppose we got oh, I can't think what they call it now. What do they call it? Can't think.
By
When you've got
location that Jonathan talks about?
when you get like two lives running parallel something parallel.
Parallel lives?
Yeah,
Concurrent?
parallel lives, I suppose we could have that. I don't know. I couldn't say if we do or not. But my friend went to a restaurant with his wife on holiday one year, and they got into the lift. They booked the restaurant. They got into the lift, and when they got to the top, there was no restaurant. There was nothing there. It was just totally gone. So they thought they'd put it to the test. They felt a bit weird, and they thought they'd put it to the test and book the restaurant again the next day. When they went back the next day, the restaurant was all there. It was all there, and I thought, well, can
Wow.
that be something to do with parallel dimensions that we've had, or time slips that we go through?
Timelines, right?
Yeah, and then I thought, and my
They call it the
friend,
timeline?
she said to me that her and her husband were driving along one day, and she said, as we drove past this bit of land, there was all old-fashioned people working and farming, and they were in old-fashioned clothes from period clothes, you know,
Mhm.
probably like 1700s or something like that. And she said, when we drove back, the same way, it had all disappeared. Everything had gone, you know, there was nothing there. So it's
That's
crazy, isn't
amazing.
it? To think that you could drive into another like zone from the past or the future. It's, I believe anything's possible like that, that we could go through time slips. We could go through time
Time
slips.
slips?
That's two of my friends that had those experiences where they'd gone into another time. And
Wow.
I don't know if the
I've never
first
heard of
one.
that. It's called a time slip?
Well, that's what I would call it. You know, it's like your parallel dimensions, like that woman said. We go into them by accident. She's put, we live in parallel dimensions. Sometimes we run into that dimension by accident, and that's probably what happens. You know, but it's weird, isn't it, to think that those people are still carrying on regardless. That they're not really there, but you've run into that time zone and thought, am I really here or what? Or people go into a place and they experience like uh, outer beings, you know, they're like aliens as you call them. They
Hmm.
they go with that and they lose time. They come back to normal and they've lost about 3 hours of time. So where do they go? It's just out of this world. It's weird.
Wow. That's amazing. I'm just I'm listening to you. I'm also scrolling through to see if there's um,
Yeah.
any other questions. We're not doing personal questions, everybody. It's general questions, spiritual questions, whatever you want to ask Elaine or Jonathan. But
Yeah.
she's not doing readings, is what I'm trying to say. Am I right?
Well, it's questions about the afterlife and stuff like that, I should think, and spiritual
Hmm.
matters, you know. I mean, can you ask if Jonathan exists in another incarnation or he's completely a soul? He's completely a soul on the other side. What did you think when you did it? What did I think when I did it? Oh, yeah, I just felt complete unconditional love when it first happened, Lisa. Just complete wash of unconditional love. It was amazing. Never felt anything like that.
Well, and that's a very good question. Is Jonathan incarnated anywhere else, or is all that is Jonathan just there with you?
Well,
I
it
mean,
seems to
I'm not
be,
even sure
yeah.
how to phrase the question.
It feels like it's all of him, you know, but um I was always told that we're made up of facets. And I suppose part of a
Mm.
facet of us remains in the spirit world, and the part of the facet of us comes down to the physical life. So that's the reason why I guess we have a higher self, is because that higher self is part of the facet of us that connects back to the spirit world. I don't really know. That's what I've been told anyway, and that's what my guide explains it as. So we're made up of several facets, like a diamond is. We have several parts of our soul that could be in different places at different times, I guess.
Right, right. And there is no linear time is just an illusion, right? As in spirit, there is no time at all.
Yeah, well, we just have clocks, don't we? We've made up clocks and time over the years, but when you look back, we used to have sundials, didn't we? And they still exist now. People have sundials. And then as the sun moves round during the day, it catches the light of the dial, and it has like numerals on it, and that's the time. It's quite amazing to think we're going by light and darkness and we're swapping times around at seasons. But we got clocks, but really it's only
So humans have chosen to measure this thing that we call time. Is that
yeah,
right?
time is something that we've kind of brought into this world, the physical world, but their time is just something that passes by. We go by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so we limit ourselves to time, and when we go to night time, our bodies tell us that we want to go to sleep. So that's the time that we need to rest ourselves. So we use so many hours in the day to stay awake, and then the physical body becomes tired, and it's time for us to slow down and go to sleep. So if we stayed awake all day and all night, we just wouldn't be able to humanly do it. But in spirit, they don't need to rest and sleep because they haven't got a physical body to rest. So they could be all over the place all of the time, and they don't need to rest.
That's amazing. I know I was when I was listening to the Charla Acker interview. I love that interview, and I'm actually interviewing Charla Acker at the end of May. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, Charlie, yes, I've got an interview, I think, with her on the 9th of May, I think, if she's still going to do
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah, as far as I know. Oh, Dawn May says she has insomnia, you poor thing. Yeah, I don't
Oh
know
dear.
if it's insomnia. I sometimes don't sleep all night because my brain is quite active, my mind is quite active, so I'm a bit of a fidget.
Mhm.
I go into states of deep sleep, and then I wake and go to sleep again, and wake and go to sleep again. So it's sporadic with me, but it's horrible if you've got insomnia, Dawn. That must be, perhaps you ought to see somebody about that. You know, it's not very nice to have that. I don't know how many
I
years the
agree.
spirit's hanging out on the other side until they reincarnate. I don't know. It could vary because I read of one once that only stayed in spirit world for a couple of years, and he came back again. And the little boy said that he knew who he was in his past life, and he demanded his parents take him there because his daughter and family was still alive. And he went there to tell them that the money that he'd hid before he died was under the floorboards, and when they put the floorboards up, there it was. So that's
Wow.
amazing. He'd reincarnated just to, show him where the money was. He'd travel all that way. Why couldn't he just told him for the other side? But yeah, he could have rang them
I
up.
guess that was like a really
It's
important
under the floorboards.
question. I love that. Oh my gosh.
And then this other man, he
Oh my gosh.
reincarnated, and he brought his own murderer from his past life to justice. Yes,
Really?
well, this man had murdered somebody in their past life, and
Hmm.
he put an axe or something in his back or in his, and then he buried him in a shallow grave in this life. And he reincarnated again, the person that was murdered, and the other person that had murdered him years before was still alive on the earth, and he kept telling his parents that he'd been murdered in the past life, and he knew the exact spot where he'd been buried. Took them to the exact spot where he'd been buried, and they found the bones there, and there it was with the axe mark in the back of the head or in the wherever it was, and he still had the scar on the back of his, I think in his back or in his head, he still had the scar from the past life, and the man was put into jail because he was brought to justice.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, he's come
Wow.
back into this life just to bring that man to justice. It's all true, apparently.
That's incredible.
It is
You
incredible,
know,
yeah.
I see. Sorry, go ahead.
Then there was the other man, no, woman, wasn't there? She was on the television years ago, and it's actually still
Mhm.
on YouTube. And she kept drawing a house in Ireland when she was a little girl. And she said to her parents, I lived in Ireland, I was a little girl, I had so many children, and they got separated from me as from children, and my husband wasn't very nice. And it all turned out to be true. She had a conversation with her son in her past life on a jetty. She remembered exactly what she'd said. So eventually she got a little bit older, and she managed to go over to Ireland. She found all of the children and reunited them. It's an amazing story, and she actually remembered where her old house was, and it was a bit derelict.
I've I've seen this. I know that
Yeah,
story where did she get together all the children and they
yeah,
were
that's
all
right.
older now?
And
Like
they were
older than
all
she
with
was,
her.
right?
Yeah, just couldn't believe it. He said, I had that conversation, he said, with my mother on the jetty. We used to come in on the boat. And I thought, wow, that's just out of this world, you know. So that proves reincarnation.
That's on YouTube. I don't remember the name. Do you remember the name so people can watch it if they want to?
I can't remember now, but it was on YouTube, and I come across it again a few weeks back. And it's quite an old program now, but Cilla Black put them together, and you know, it is quite an amazing story that she even knew their names and everything. I mean, that is proof of the afterlife and proof of reincarnation, isn't it? You can't fault that, can you? How the hell would you know?
I know. That's incredible. That's an incredible story. Actually, there's a lot of on YouTube. There are several videos about children who were reincarnated. In fact, I think I've seen the one about the man that came back for the murderer. I think he was a child, right?
Yes, that's right.
I
Yeah.
think it was a child that was reincarnated and had the scar.
Yeah, that's out of this world. You know, inexplicable, but it's proof of reincarnation. You can't say, well, you know, if you believe, you believe, you don't, you don't. But when you see that sort of evidence with reincarnation, that just says, well, and who's saying get on with it? Steve George Thompson is saying get on with it.
Really?
Yeah. Are you too impatient, Steve? You'll have to wait.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah, he don't want me. He wants Johnathan. So we'll get on with it. If you ask me nicely, Steve, then I'll get on with it, yeah?
You have to send Elaine love. Send her love, not demands. Seriously, people. Yeah. Sorry about that, Elaine.
I don't go to orders. That's not your fault. It's just come on here, but you know, you have to respect things. If you're going to watch, just respect. Okay?
Absolutely.
Right, we should go into it. We should go into it. Okay, you ready?
You want to?
Yep.
Whenever you're ready, my friend.
Good evening, everybody.
Welcome, Johnathan. Such a pleasure to see you.
Likewise, my dear. Yes, it is lovely to see you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we have some questions for you, if you would like to answer. Would that be okay?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So the first question seems to be a very popular question, and it's about walk-ins. And I know that I actually asked you about this during my personal reading, but now several other people have actually wanted to hear about it. So I was wondering if you could please talk about walk-ins. Like, for example, Lori says, does a new spirit enter your body if you briefly passed but brought back? And then Linda's saying, also, could you explain about walk-ins? Do they know when they will walk into a body? Can they pick a time? Thank you so much.
Well, there is usually a soul communication before the person is even born into the world, before that takes place. And the two souls will come together and make the pact that halfway through that person's life, there is going to be an exchange of souls going into that body. But it is a very rare occasion that this happens upon. It has been known to happen. And you know about reincarnation, so there are walk-ins. you see. And sometimes this can happen when the person has had an accident and they go back to the spirit life, and the other soul says, well, I'm going to go back into that being now, and I'm going to take over the particular lifetime simply because I do not want to go back as a child. I'm going to take over this person's life simply because I'm not going to possess their body, but that soul has now left the body, and now I'm going to enter it, you see. And you will find that sometimes the certain personality traits that were there before are slightly different. They may have a slightly different approach to things, but that soul has to know about that being's path, you see. And there is still the same path that both souls have chosen on one journey, and they have to be totally linked as souls. They have to know everything there is to know about the life. So that second soul cannot come into that being without knowing anything about it, can they? Because otherwise they would be entering a physical body that is at a stage where the personality is already developed within that being. And it would be very difficult and very daunting to suddenly appear in someone's body and think, well, where do I start? I know nothing of this person's life. So they would have to know of that person's particular life path in order for it to be done. So both souls will make that pact in order for it to happen. But I will say, yes, it is a rare occasion that this happens.
Thank you, Johnathan. That's such a fascinating topic, and I'm not really sure why so many of us are so interested in that. Do you have any thoughts on that? Like, why it's such an enticing topic that three of us, you know, at least three of more, I'm sure, but just three people that I myself included that found it really so important that we wanted to talk to you, which is like an amazing rare occasion. We don't always get to talk to spirit, you know. Not like this.
Yes,
Not like this.
I would say that it is quite usually a little bit of a taboo subject, isn't it? You know, not everybody believes in it, but really, anything is
Okay.
possible, isn't it? It's only a soul entering into a physical being. A physical being is just a casing for a soul to reside in. And if that soul was ready to pass over to the spirit world, and the body was in an able enough state to be able to be brought back, you get people that have out-of-body experiences and come back into their body, but you also get people that have near-death experiences. And then they say, well, you are not ready to pass yet, you will go back into that body. Your soul has come out of that body, and the body has been unalive for that period of time that you have been in the spirit life. So another soul can enter into that with a spiritual permission from God to be able to allow that to happen.
Okay. So they would need to get, the soul needs to get spiritual permission from God. Is that what you said?
Yes, yes, that is true.
Wow. Wow. It's kind of like surreal that I'm actually having this conversation. It's so amazing. I feel like I'm all flushed. May I please ask you, okay, so I'm sure you're aware that my mother's name is Elaine, and then my dearest friend is Diane Marie, and my brother Peter, and my birth name is Karen. Can you explain how Elaine and I have all these synchronicities, and we even have more than that? Did you plan this? I mean,
again, you know, a lot of souls come from the same soul groups, and you will find that in life, when you are giving readings too, some of the people have same family names, other people will have same surnames, and you have come into contact because you were meant to meet. You were meant to meet, and in the future you will meet in the physical. So you have had past lives together. You have had past lives.
is that what you said? We have had past lives together.
Yes, you have, yes.
Thank you. I knew it. I felt it in my soul. I felt from the first time I ever saw Elaine on a video, I felt so connected to her. And at first I thought, well, everybody must feel this connection. And actually there's 71 people here, and I'm sure like millions that wish they were. So I think a lot of people do feel connected to her. But thank you for the confirmation. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, I don't want to be selfish and ask you any more questions that are like that, even though that was really awesome and interesting. So let me ask you, so Jimmy Davy would like to know, he says, is your heart and your gut separate with regards to intuition? He says, can one say one thing and then the other say something else?
Well, both are the same. Because you would call it on the earth plane, you say, well, gut instinct, wouldn't you? You'd say, or gut feeling.
Yes.
But that is your intuitive self. Your gut feeling, your gut instinct, whatever you want to name it as, is your intuition. So it is one. It is not two separate things. It is as one, because everything comes from the mind, but it affects other energy centers of the being, you see. Because other energy centers are attached to meridians in the body, and that will affect certain other areas of the meridians that are attached to the energy centers. And so you get perhaps the butterflies in the stomach over an emotion, or you will get a sudden thought or feeling or sensation over something. So yes, it is the intuitive self that is the gut feeling.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Now, Johnathan, when you were at that venue, when you were live in person in Wales recently, I watched the whole thing, and it was amazing, really amazing, Johnathan, truly. Just thank you for that. And I know there's going to be a lot more of it. I just feel it in my soul. I know.
Yes,
and I'm going to be there.
Certainly.
So let me ask you this. So what is it that you and Elaine came here to do? Obviously, well, you're here, and now you're reaching more and more people. What is your? I've actually heard you answer this on other interviews, but I feel strongly to ask you about it now. Like, what is your mission and your goal to help us with? Why are you here?
Well, I would say the mission and the goal is, to help this world have an awakening, to help others to be healed, and to help others to come to the realization that they are all healers, and of course they are spiritually gifted, and they want their questions answered, they want their curiosities answered, don't they? They also want to know if their loved ones are okay on the other side, so we are bringing that to them as well. So we are spreading an awakening. We want the people of the earth to have an awakening, a spiritual experience of some sort. You will get skeptical people in this world that say, well, yes, Elaine is not in trance and such. I have done so much showing to her, proving, you would call it, to let her know that I exist. I have brought to your world a lot of evidence for people that have agreed to it and understood it and perceived it to be real, and it is real. I am real. As much as
Indeed, you are.
Elaine, and all the other human beings on Earth are real, spirit are real too. And we have done so much proving, but we have nothing to prove, but we know that you want the proof. And so Elaine and I are setting out there to give that to people. If they don't want to believe, then we cannot force them. But all of this, I will tell you, is real. There is no falsification, because she would not sit in front of you here and make herself look a fool if it was false. She wouldn't want to lie to anybody. That is not what Elaine is about. She has had a lot of time to trust me and to go forward with this sort of thing. So anybody that doesn't want to believe, I'm not going to condemn them, but I'm going to let you know that this is all real, and every one of you will find out that it is.
Ooh, we're at number 77. That's always a synchronistic number. So how about, you mentioned awakening a few times. Can you talk a bit about the ascension and about like 5D? And I mean, is this the awakening? Are you talking about like spiritual awakening and like the 2012? Are we talking about that, or can you speak to that?
Well, I'm going to mention 2020, you see, because you've got two numbers the same side by side, haven't you? Which is part of what this spiritual awakening is. When it comes to 2020, there will be a mass awakening, a mass healing of the earth and the people of the earth. But we are coming to you like this because of the way that the world is at present. And we are wanting you to know that there is an afterlife. It's not that the world is going to end and you're all going to pass away tomorrow. What it is, we are trying to awaken as many people as we can so that more and more people know the truth. It is the truth. And the truth is coming to your earth. Oh, yes, it is. The truth is coming to your earth. And the people will be shown. And many, many people over many, many years have had spiritual experiences, but they have been put to the back of the class, so to speak, in order to say, well, you know, you are just imagining things, but it is real, my dear. So you were talking to me about the awakening, yes, and the enlightening. And when you have an awakening, you would experience many, many signs in your sleep and waking state of mind, and you will feel as if you have opened up to spirit. You will have experiences that you've never had before, and all of those sort of things. People have had angels visit them, you see, and angels are real. We don't have the angels flapping around with wings, but I think that it is truly beautiful that you see them with wings, because it means that the soul is free, the spirit is free, the angel is free. It is the highest order of angels that will come to you and show you wings, so to speak, but we do not have wings. It is saying that the angel is pure and is of pure love and pure light. So it is depicting that as wings, you see, flight of spirit. So I will say to you that the angels are pure. They have no need to incarnate on earth because they stand next to Jesus, they stand next to God. This is nothing of a religion, but you know, yes, he lived on the earth as a healer, so they stand with him and they sing in the spirit life. But going back to the awakening, this is such an important part, isn't it? To have a mass awakening, to see your world connecting with ours in such a beautiful way. More and more people are awakening. So Elaine and I are going out there to spread the word a little bit. And others will do that too, not just us. Others will do that too.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing all of that, Johnathan. Oh my gosh, I already see like YouTube videos with that. I can see it. Oh my goodness, you're wonderful. We love you so much. I don't know. I'm sure you can feel all the love, and I know there's like everybody's making so many comments, and I can't possibly read them all to Johnathan, but you're getting a lot of love, Johnathan. A lot of love.
I thank them
So
for that.
Spirit inspired me today to ask you this question, which is how does Spirit inspire us? Like, you know, like to whatever, use that key or to look over here or all the different ways that Spirit communicates to us. How do they do us? How do I suddenly like know to ask you a question? Or do you know what I know you know what I'm saying. I'm going to leave it to you.
Well, I would say that I got Elaine's attention one day when she was traveling on the motorway to a demonstration, and I wanted to let her know that I was there. So I enticed her mind to look over the way that she was going to be looking, and there was my name on the side of a large vehicle. And so your soul will know to look, you see. You have a soul inside of you that is highly intelligent. It is an old soul, and it knows the synchronicities. So at that point in time, you would just happen to be glancing across that way, and we would put something in front of you that you would notice as a synchronicity. So the perfect divinity of time would come into play, and there you will have it. We can make things appear in an instant. We don't even have to wait. We would put that earthly thought into something to be ready to be synchronized, and then all of a sudden, at the perfect moment, you would look across or look up wherever it is going to be, and there you have it. We have passed the message or the sign on to you.
Wow. Wow. That's such a huge topic that it fascinates me to no end. So when you're making you're in, I forget the exact word that you just used. I'm going to paraphrase. So when you inspire someone's mind to look a certain way, Can you explain maybe how you do that? How is that done? How do you inspire us to look?
And it's perfect synchronicity of time, isn't it? So we will pick an absolute divine timing for every single thing that is going to be placed there. And your soul will know that on a soul level, but your logic state of mind won't know it, you see. So we will get you to go to a place where we are going to synchronize everything, and we will know exactly where it is and where to put you at that particular time, you see. So we will use a mind impression to do it as well. Everything that comes from us is a thought. So, for instance, I would give you an example. If Elaine was going to be going down that motorway at such and such an earthly time,
Mm-hmm.
I would know exactly at that point where she was going to be. So there would be a vehicle coming along at that particular time with that name on it, and I could pass them in a total synchronized time together. She would look across, there it is. We are so advanced in spirit of the state of mind of thinking that we could place something in that moment in time where you will look across and see it, or you will receive a sign from us, numbers, that sort of thing. You turn it on the radio or the clock, you will see 1111 or 1212 or 404 or 444. Yes, we can synchronize things in an instant. And it is all the soul's plan. So you know exactly where you're going to be at that point in time before you came to the earth. You know it all before you came here. So it is just your logic state of mind, your physical state of mind that doesn't remember. You have some sort of amnesia when you come to the earth. You forgot the plan. So it just comes back to you again, doesn't it? We're sending you little reminders.
Oh, that's so beautifully said. Oh my goodness gracious. Now I know Elaine said she was tired, and I don't want to keep. Do I have enough time for one more question?
Yes, I will do that.
Awesome. All right. So on the 18th of May, I know there's no time where you're from, but anyway, on the 18th of May, we have the intimate gathering with you and Elaine, and I'm fascinated by the healing that I've seen you do. And Elaine said that you don't need to be physically with the person to heal. And I know a lot of us that are going to be there are very interested in this. And I thought maybe you could talk about that a little bit. How you, I don't even know what to ask. I'm fascinated.
Well, if the
So,
person is present in the room, I can take their
mhm,
hands, and the energy will be put into their being, into their mind, into their physical body, and I will work with their energy centers. You see,
mhm,
I will work with their mind and their energy centers that are attached to that mind, to that soul. And so I will work on lifting out what is no longer needing to be there in the way of emotional states or physical pain, but sometimes emotional states will relate to physical pain. So what I will do is shift the energy within the person so that they will feel lighter and fresher from within, and more able to concentrate and to move forward with their lives, having known that they've had something shifted, that in an emotional state that it no longer needed to be there. So I am able to put them into deep relaxed states for that few moments that I'm needing to do the healing. And this is something new to Elaine, but it is not new. It is something of a progression of the gift that she has, and it is progressing quickly. So I'm able to work on a much more intense level of healing now. And when things shift in her, that means she can ascend and work on a more deeper level of healing. And so if you are absentee with the healing, I am able to get into the mindset. I'm able to tune your mind with my spirit mind, and I am able to give you healing at a great distance. And because we can bilocate, although the medium cannot, but we can bilocate our thoughts anywhere in the world that you wish, then we are able to give distant healing. So, for instance, if you gathered a group of people together and they all prayed together for healing of one or two particular people or people of the earth, then that has an effect of a massive ball of energy which is going to be transferred in thought transference to that particular person or people that are wanting to be healed. And so that mass prayer can create a miracle, because there are energies going to the energy of that person, and they are going to physically affect it. So we will use thought transference from our soul mind to your soul mind, and it can create healing.
So the power of prayer is very powerful, right? I mean, even if somebody doesn't have Johnathan specifically healing them, if a group of people get together, I think it says that in the Bible too, actually. But
that is right, yes.
So,
mass prayer,
right?
healing, prayer is the most powerful thing that you can use, because you are going direct to the source, you see, that you call God. You're going direct to that being and asking for healing. And if you've got more than one, that's even more than one asking. So that is several mindsets, several mind energies that are asking for that healing. And it is heard and given. I see people praying hard every day. And they think, well, I'm not being listened to. Nothing is happening. But again, about that divinity of time and synchronization, everything will happen in perfect divinity of time if it is meant to be. And although you think that you're not being listened to, you are.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Like beyond words. Thank you. I'm expressing from my soul. I'm sure you can feel it. I'm so grateful for this time with you. And I feel like everybody is as well. And I don't want to keep Elaine any longer. Right? I mean, she probably wants to come back.
Well, I will bring her back because she needs to rest, the dear girl. I love her. So yes, I will bring her back for her own sake.
All right, of course. I know she wants to rest, but thank you so much, Johnathan. Thank you again.
I'll see you again. I know it. Everybody, God bless you all.
And there she is. Hi. You okay? You need some water or something?
Yeah.
Take your time. Thank you for that, Elaine. I know how tired you are, and probably would have been happy just to go to sleep today and take a nap. But instead, you came here and joined us, and even shared Johnathan with us. And from my soul to your soul, I thank you for that so much. Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for all coming on tonight and taking your time to come and see us. And I see all your messages going up the screen. And I hope to speak to you again soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I look forward to it. Johnathan said we're going to meet in person, by the way.
Yeah. What's that? Honeythorn? MMAO. What's that for, honey?
What does it say?
Oh, it's honey. I know what it means, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think she's having a muck about. Oh, thanks for having me on.
It's my pleasure. So I know you're going to go get some rest now. Thank you again. I hope that you will do me the honor of coming back again another time if you would like.
Yeah, yeah. And that for you, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And we'll see you on the 18th. On the 18th for the intimate gathering. We'll see you and Johnathan.
I'll see you then. Yeah, I look forward to it. You'll have to let me know what
Me
I've got to do, but we'll sort something out. I think I've done Zoom before with us, one other lady, but we'll sort it out.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
thank you again. I love you. I love Johnathan. You're like totally amazing and awesome. Namaste. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining us. We love you so much for co-creating with us. We feel your energy and so much love for every one of you. Thank you. Thank you. Have an
Thank
amazing
you,
day.
God bless. Bye.